Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on understanding the most transformative options or yogas or the time periods in our life. Because guys, many times we come across all those scenarios where people who are like very much secured, safe and doing good in one area of their life, and suddenly they transform into something else. Now this transformation could be connected to your profession, this could be connected to your own psychological, mental transformation, the way you look at things. So what could be the combination in astrology through which we can get to know about it? Now that is a different scenario altogether. Whether you are right now in a very struggling phase in your life and you are working hard consistently to transform your prevailing negative circumstances, or there could be those cases as well that you are doing very good in your life but your life path has something else in store for you and that transformation is not very far from you. So guys, like the way you know that I always have a backstory to support. So yesterday only I was doing a consultation for one of the client, and I feel very grateful, very thankful that no matter how much books I study, at the end of the day, through these consultations only, while looking at these combination practically in the lives of people, we actually get to learn a lot. So the situation was same. This person, she is doing very good in her existing line of work, and now she is planning to transform or venture out into business. So there were certain alignments in her chart which were validating or which were indicating success in that venture which she is eyeing for. So that only inspired me that we can have a discussion on that combination as well. And also guys, there is one more thing which I want to say over here, that when it comes down to doing assessment, whether for yourself or whether for someone else, you have to understand this thing that because what happened recently, I went to Montreal and over there my friend whose place like I stayed over there, so his roommates, they all were like IT professionals from southern part of India, and both of them, those two guys, they have never ever got their chart assessed, and they did not have any like kind of faith in astrology as well, that through the planetary alignments someone's personality can be assessed, someone's ongoing conditions can be predicted. So I remain kind of successful in actually making them believe the authenticity of astrology while making some predictions or making some accurate assessment of their personality. But over there as well, there was this case, because one of the roommates asked me to look at the chart of his brother who was struggling a lot. So guys, whenever you come across all these kind of situation, like this could be that you are in a joint family and there is one person who is responsible for creating maximum issues, maximum problems. So whenever you have to do the assessment of someone's chart, you have to first see that whether this is the true authentic personality of this person, or whether this person is behaving like this because of being under the influence of a strong planetary influence, because these two are different things. Now let's say for example, if your personality is very happy, very optimistic, something which is getting promised or indicated in your chart, that let's say for example your ascendant lord is very well placed, your moon is surrounded by the benefic planets being placed in auspicious houses, like your moon is placed in the 5th house, 9th house, 11th house, or it is conjunct with Jupiter, it is conjunct with Venus, Mercury, then this could be a good combination that this person has got a very kind of amicable kind of personality, very happy-go-lucky kind of personality. Now within this chart, if this person is going through a time period of, let's say for example, Ketu Mahadasha and Saturn Antardasha, and both of these two planets are conjunct in the 1st house, they are conjunct in the 8th house, so we can say this thing that this person has got a very friendly, very amicable personality. It's only this person is going through this rough phase in which if the whole family is going to adjust to this person, later on he will be or she will be transformed into what her natal chart is promising about her true authentic personality. Same way guys, I looked at a chart of one more person as well. So in this person's case, he has got a Leo rising. So now see, try to understand this thing. Leo Lagna, ascendant lord being sun, is conjunct with Mercury in the 12th house. That in itself tells about that somehow life will have lot of struggle, because for the Leo Lagna, if the sun in itself has gone to the 12th house, that in itself is indicating struggle or not finding the success or due return for all the hard work which you will be putting in. And for the Leo Lagna natives, Mercury becomes a very important planet, because Mercury has got the rulership over both the houses of your income and opportunities. So Mercury in the Cancer in the 12th house has also become very weak. Now the life is getting indicated that life is filled with struggle. Now in that struggle life as well, what is the mindset of that person, how that person is perceiving or acting out in those situations. So when I look at the moon, so moon was also placed in the 8th house for a Leo Lagna, in the 8th house in the Pisces, and it was conjunct with Mars over there. So these are the kind of combinations which tells about that not only life is filled with struggle, mind is also kind of little bit negative, and the ongoing dashas are also making things worse. So yes guys, this was just some of the experiences which I have had in past couple of weeks, and now we will shift to our discussion on understanding that when it comes down to the combinations which could be responsible for that transformation in your life. So what are those alignments? So definitely guys, the only key concept which you have to understand if you actually want to make the best use of astrology is just making your dasha planet, ongoing dashas, as the epicenter of the assessment, because whatsoever is getting promised in your chart, at the end of the day it's the transiting planets and the ongoing dashas only activate that. So whenever it comes down to doing remedies, wearing gemstone, doing the mantra, japa, donation, so assessment of the activated planets in the form of the ongoing running dasha becomes very important. So that's the very first thing to keep in mind, that it's only your dashas which hold this capacity to transform your life. Now this transformation could be positive, this transformation could be little bit filled with lot of unease for you as well, where you have to accommodate, you have to go through a lot of changes in the life. But eventually if the planet is well placed, whose dasha you are going through or whose dasha you have just started, so they will only connect you with more opportunities in times to come. So guys, now like the way I was talking about, that the concept of the dashas is very simple. All what matters is that in which house planet is placed. Definitely guys, basis the planetary rulership for each ascendant, for each lagna, there are certain planets which are auspicious, which are like functional benefic, and there are those planets basis the house rulership for your specific lagna, where the planets are like functional benefic, they could be functional malefic as well. Like the way, for example, for the Leo lagna natives, so sun becomes a very important planet for them, Mars becomes a very important planet. For the Libra lagna natives or Taurus lagna natives, Saturn becomes a Yogaraka, becomes a very important planet. Same way for the Libra lagna or the Taurus lagna, Jupiter is not very auspicious planet for them. But guys, eventually what matters is that basis the house rulership, planet will be extracting fruits, extracting attributes of the houses which it rules. But at the end of the day, planet will only give result where it is actually placed in the chart, and basis its dignity, basis its comfort level in that house whose dasha you are running, good results can be extracted out of that. So yes guys, now in the rest of the video we will only focus towards that which all houses, if your dasha lord is placed over there, hold this capacity to give you that sort of aspired healthy constructive transformation in your life. So guys, first of all, I always say this thing, that dasha of the planet which is placed in your first house becomes very important. Now whether this could be the dasha of your ascendant lord, or whether the dasha lord, if it is placed in the first house, that in itself means that somehow your whole life is in the control, in the influence of that planet, and basis the nature of that planet, basis the dignity of that planet, it holds this key to completely transform your life, where your relationship, where your finances, where your career, where your philosophy, where your belief, everything is going to be getting affected because your dasha lord is placed in the first house. Now that's a different case, that the innate nature of the planet will also come into play. Now let's say, for example, if you are in the dasha of planet like Ketu or a planet like Saturn, so definitely Saturn can give you slow transformation. Ketu can just in a strike can completely change your life. So a lot will be dependent on that. But yes guys, if you are running the time period or you're about to start the dasha of a planet which is placed in the first house, that hold this key to completely change your life for good or for inconvenience, it hold this capacity. After that guys, I would say that third house plays a very important role. If you are about to enter the Mahadasha, here guys, I'm not focusing more on the planetary sub period, because when we talk about Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, Sukshma Dasha, they only have this capacity to bring small minor changes in the life. But when we talk about a complete major shift in the life, so Mahadasha plays a very important role over there. And specifically guys, when we talk about certain dasha period, like for example someone who has just completed Ketu dasha, Ketu in itself must have been working hard towards sowing seeds of those transformation, and the minute Venus dasha will begin, you will definitely find the good results coming out of that. And that is the reason we say that Ketu might give you a lot of inconveniences, but somehow Ketu can actually transform your life for your good, for your own soul elevation. So yes guys, third house plays a very important role because somehow our initiatives, our efforts are connected with this house. And let's say for example, if a planet is very well placed over here, so with your diligence, with your hard work, you hold this capacity to completely transform your life or whatsoever you are eyeing to achieve. And if the activated dasha planet in the third house is well placed, it will actually provide you right set of impetus, right set of influence, right set of support to bring those transformation in your life. And also guys, because third house is sixth from the 10th house, so you might go through a lot of inconveniences at your existing work front, which might kind of instigate these kind of thought process, these kind of attitude and approach of doing something else. Now guys, after that, fifth house plays a very important role. Now the beauty of the fifth house is that not only it holds this capacity to bring a major transformation in your professional life, in your work front, but also this house also holds this key to completely change your mindset, the way you perceive the world, the way you look at things. You can go through complete transformation whenever you will enter the Mahadasha of a planet which is placed in the fifth house. Guys, the beauty of the fifth house is that not only it has got good potential to give you speculative gain, connect you with your past life merits, give you good happiness on the account of progeny, some artistic creative endeavors, but moreover this is also the house of religious spiritual pursuit, yoga, mantra, sadhana, and all those recreational activities as well, all those entertaining activities as well. And the good part about the fifth house is that there is a lot of purity and soul level potential which is attached with this house, that whatsoever you will do, whenever you are getting benefited or supported or being pushed from the attributes of the fifth house, there will be that soul level outpour which will be connected over there. After that guys, seventh house plays a very important role, because guys, seventh house not only tells about the way we perceive the world, seventh house also tells about the commercial activities, and also this is the house of our partner as well. And we all have seen all those cases where right after the marriage, the person's luck started supporting him, or he completely transformed his life the minute this person got married. So seventh house also hold this key to completely transform your life or completely change your perception towards the world, the way you perform or you act in the world. Now guys, after that, the most important house, the house which only flourishes only when it is fed the seeds of the transformation, that is the 8th house. So definitely guys, 8th house is the most important or potent house which hold this capacity or potential to completely transform your life. Like someone who is very materialistic, very like material driven in the life, and the minute the 8th house lord dasha started, or dasha of a planet which is placed in the 8th house got activated. Now this person is taking a lot of interest in spirituality, in meditation, lot of travels, lot of prospects and endeavors towards the self discovery. So 8th house plays a very important role. Now guys, over here as well, I recently made a video where I talked on the 8th house relation with all other houses in our chart, like how 8th house works with the first house energy, second house, third house. So over there I skipped this part, that what will happen if you will have 8th house lord placed in the 8th house. So answer is very simple. This is considered as one of the very best combination. Not only it is a good indication for a good life, and I say this thing that, see, 8th house in itself carries the energy of scandal, it in itself carries the energy of problem. Now you do not want that house lord's energy to go and affect the signification or attributes of any other house. Like let's say for example, I live in Vancouver, so all those people with the drug related issue, they all are confined in one area, one section of the city only, so that other parts of the area of the city should not get affected. So the point which I am saying over here is that if you will find 8th house lord to be placed in the 8th house in itself, it's one of the best combination, because it will protect the signification of that house, the house which hold this potential or capacity to cause maximum damage in the life. But if used constructively, this is also the house of transcendental awareness. And definitely guys, if someone who has just started the dasha of a 8th house lord planet, or a planet whose dasha you have just started, it is placed in the 8th house, it is strongly placed over there. So definitely this house holds this much capacity that we all have seen all those cases. Someone who was doing very good in his corporate life, in his material life, and suddenly this person transformed himself to a monk. He started taking more interest in spirituality, meditation, traveling the world, self-discovery. So all that potential is somehow attached with the 8th house energy. Now guys, another house which hold this capacity to give you transformation in the life is the 9th house. Now why 9th house? Because the beauty of the 9th house is that it has got so much divinity attached to it, that let's say for example, if you are constructively using the prospects of the 9th house, you are a very devoted person and you see yourself as a mere instrument of the divine will. So definitely for these sort of devoted and people who have completely surrendered themselves to the divine will, some sort of epiphanies, awakenings, awareness can actually drive your life towards some healthy, positive transformation. And lastly guys, out of all the remaining houses, which are the 10th house, 11th house and 12th house, my personal favorite is going to be the 10th house, because you have to understand this thing that if you will get into the dasha of a planet which is placed in the 10th house, so this planet will be very much attuned towards shaping up your actions, your karma in the society, and depending on the nature of the planet. Now let's say for example, if you will go through the dasha of Ketu being in the 10th house, this hold this potential to completely transform your life. And even Saturn to an extent, because Saturn somehow gets very strengthened in the 10th house, and Saturn is always aware about your karma, about your actions, which has to be attuned in the right direction. So guys, at the end, if I were to summarize, dasha of the planet which is very well placed in the 1st house, in the 3rd house, 5th house, 7th house, 8th house, 9th house and 10th house hold this potential to completely transform your life in the direction of your soul fulfillment in this lifetime. So guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.